Can't believe you're crunching on Labor Day.
I haven't actually enjoyed, like, been really invested in making art in like 6 months. You know about the concept?
No, I did not.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Broken Build podcast. And today we have a really cool motherfucker on the cast today, Kolbe.
That's me.
He is a level designer. He's worked on Halo Infinite. He's currently at Crystal Dynamics working on, I don't think they announced what they're working on, but it's really cool shit. Wait, did y'all announce what you're working on yet or no?
Well, I think they know what we're working on. I haven't announced what I'm working on yet. I'm waiting for that.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool shit is happening. Kolbe,
shit is
welcome to the show.
Hey,
Welcome,
thanks. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I saw this when y'all started this, and I was like, okay, yep, I'm gonna jump on it.
We appreciate that.
Looks like a good time.
Yeah.
It's honestly flattering and insane that we're still actually making episodes because I thought we'd burn out after 5.
Really? No, I was in it for the long haul, man. I was ready to.
Listen, I don't know.
I made time in my schedule. I was like, no, I'm doing this. This is
We're
a
being
commitment.
consistent, so I got to give us that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really good.
All right. Enough about that. Kolbe, tell these nice people what you do and a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah. I'm
If
Kolbe.
you want to start
Yeah.
with your pronouns as well, just so we have them for the.
Oh yeah, I'm Kolbe. He, him. Not recently. So I place blocks for a living. I just place the blocks. That's all level designers do. We just place blocks. No, we do a lot more. But yeah, I'm a level designer. I recently worked on Halo Infinite's campaign. Yeah, so I worked on a majority. So about half of the outposts. There were 7 outposts in Halo's campaign, and I worked on 3 of them. And the 4th one, I did the initial design, and then my friend took over, and he had all the objectives and updated it as designs changed. So worked on that. A lot of the open world events, the high value targets, marine events, and a lot of the forward operating bases. I did a lot of those, a lot of the gameplay for that. So that was a lot of fun. Been to a couple studios while I was trying to find a nice full-time gig. I was at Gunfire briefly on a contract, and then I went to Archetype Entertainment for a full-time position. And now I'm currently at Crystal Dynamics. I joined them just about almost 3 months, 2.5 months ago.
Nice.
And I'm loving it. It's full remote. I got to go home. It's great. It's a brief introduction of what I've done on Halo, and I haven't announced yet. Well, we talked about it earlier, but I'm not saying what I'm working on quite yet. Even though I think I can, but I'm just waiting. So
Damn, I didn't get to hear it.
Wait for the safety.
I should have tuned in earlier. So were you living in LA before you got to go home with the full remote job?
No, I've been a couple different states. So I got the gig on Halo, and I uprooted from Utah, went to Washington, lived in Redmond and in the Issaquah area, so pretty close to Seattle.
Yeah.
I would 100% move back there in a heartbeat. Once my son's a little older.
Respect.
But yeah, so I was in Washington. Then I moved to Texas because my wife and I oh yeah, Texas is good. We like it. We can afford to buy a house, and we didn't like anything about it.
Yeah.
You're
So I
going
was
to
at
see
Texas.
a little article start appearing over my face as you're talking about that really faintly.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so we didn't like Texas. We knew we had to get out, and at Crystal Dynamics, we were in talks, and I was like, do you have remote in Utah? Because I know they have remote options. And they're like, we do. And I'm like, oh, okay, I would love to interview. And it just worked out from there. And yeah, the stuff I'm working on is pretty cool. I'm excited for more stuff to come out. But now I'm back in Utah. So I haven't been in LA. I lived in California, but obviously I've been there multiple times. But
Gotcha.
there were multiple times I interviewed with studios, and I was like, all right, we're going to move to California. I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, no. then she's like, yes, actually. So, but now I'm glad to be back home.
So you're from Utah originally?
Yeah.
Bars.
Born and raised. I think it was for 25 years, and then I got the gig on Halo just 2 weeks before I graduated college, and I just uprooted within 2 weeks, and now the rest is history.
Where'd you go to school? Did you go to BYU?
No, I went to the University of Utah. They have a
Gotcha.
pretty good game dev program.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, like, as I was going through that program, they were like, Kolbe, are you interested in do the master's program? Like, you can teach and get like money back on your tuition. And I'm like, no. And I got I
No.
got hired to work on Halo, and they're like, nope, go, you're in. Don't,
Yeah.
they're just go.
Don't look
You're
back.
in the
yeah.
industry.
Don't look
You're
back,
fine.
You're out. You're out.
Well, they sound supportive at least. That's
Yeah,
nice.
they're super supportive. I had to, because I switched majors multiple times throughout my college education. Like, I graduated high school in 2011, and I finally graduated college in 2019. So I was like going to school for like 20 years total. It's nuts. But
Yeah, that the math adds up there. Yeah.
it's too long, and I was like, okay, physical therapy. And then they changed it to a doctorate degree, and I was like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want 200, 300,000 student loan debt. Then I was like, okay, nursing, but I can't stand the sight of like open wounds and stuff. I'm pretty, is it squeamish? Is that the word?
I guess.
Yeah.
So, and then my mom's like, you need to do what you want to do. And I know you want to make video games, because I love video games, as we all do. Love playing them, grew up playing them. So I shifted to that, and now I'm working at another AAA studio.
Hell yeah.
So
So you went Halo, you went 343, and then after Infinite shipped, you bounced around until you ended up at Crystal Dynamics?
basically, yeah. Well, I left a little bit before Halo shipped, just because they wanted to extend my contract. Well, and yeah, there was some crunch.
Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Halo's definitely not a cursed project. No.
Campaign was great. We had a great time with campaign.
The campaign, I haven't played it. The campaign I hear was really, really good.
I love that fucking game. But
yeah, I think I left January, and the game shipped in December. So I just left like the 10, 11 months before it shipped, because we had the delay. Yeah, and then I bounced around the Gunfire, wasn't feeling it, and now Archetype was great, but the big selling point was I can get back home and go to remote and be at Crystal Dynamics. And we set our 30th anniversary, so the studio has a big long history of making some pretty cool games, and
Yeah.
I'm happy to be part of that, because there's some dope stuff.
Yeah, it's exciting. So Crystal, just because this is pretty fresh considering the episode that we just released, so Crystal Dynamics does full remote across the country, or do they do like Canada too? Do you know?
I don't know if they do Canada quite yet. I know I don't know like all the states. I know they offer a lot of states. That they have the remote option, because I don't know if anyone knows, but like getting that the taxable entity is pretty expensive for studios. So like they're always hesitant on certain states if like it's worth it or not. And each state's going to be different and more expensive and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I know they have remote, and they actually have 3 studios: the Crystal Northwest in Seattle or Bellevue, San Mateo in California, and then there's one actually in Austin.
Very cool.
So they have like 3 like home studios that whoever's in those states can actually go into the studio and do work there.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I was asking because at Sony we keep getting new states added in. So I joined Valkyrie like 3 months before we got bought, something like that. And so then you couldn't I could work remote, but I could never be remote full time before we got bought, because they couldn't pay for a taxable entity. And then so I was freelancing technically for them. And then we got bought, and then the fancy Sony infographics showed up, and they were like, here's all these states you can work in, except Wyoming and West Virginia and shit like that. Because they were like, we don't have legal representation in those states.
No one lives there.
Man, what about
but
West
they keep
Virginia?
adding those states. What's that?
I love West Virginia. Mountain Mama.
Have you been to West Virginia, man? No, Mountain Mama.
Yeah, Mountain Mama.
Yeah, take me home. Mountain
Country
Roads,
Road.
But, have you been
they got all that there. They got Country Roads.
Don't put that song on; it might get copyright.
Oh, we're gonna get so copyright striked if you put
Again.
that on.
Listen, I barely fought a battle with Katy Perry.
We had beef with Katy Perry.
I don't know if we can handle whoever the fuck wrote Country Road, West Virginia.
I don't know if I'm strong enough to do this again.
And then maybe
that
Bethesda.
took a lot out of me. Yeah, and then Bethesda would be on our ass too.
True.
Oh god, 76 Fallout 76.
I want to circle back really quickly. So
yeah, sorry.
You did a lot of shit from what it seems like on Halo Infinite, because a majority of the campaign is very much encounters, and then the occasional, like, you go inside and do the dungeon, then you fight the elite boss or the
Mhm.
I forgot the proper term, but you fight the big baddie in that area.
Yeah.
How does it like when constructing a more open world style encounter? Are there like very specific ways you have to work with both environment artists and like how does it work? Did you do a lot of coding stuff, or was it just mostly layout and all that stuff? Because I know there's like different
Yeah,
little
for
sections
sure.
you can do.
No, I think so. Working on like open world type stuff has its challenges, but like
Mhm.
we worked really closely with environment art, as I think all level designers should. Like we're blocking stuff out, and we need to make sure the stuff is feasible that art can do that. You two should understand the environment art. But we worked pretty closely. Like I was really good friends with all of the environment artists, and especially the ones that worked directly with me, like on my outposts and my areas that I worked on. We would like shoot the shit off each other. I'll be like, hey, I need some cover right here, but inside the outpost, like the Banish outpost, like they actually picked this spot and built their base in it. So they would like wipe out like all the trees and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
And so that was like the theme. It's like, well, I want some trees in here. And they're like, no, we can't do trees, but what if we do this? And so we bounce off each other like, okay, no one wants to see all these crates everywhere. What if we work together and there's some cut down trees and some rocks and fallen over trees that they're still excavating out. So I work really closely with all the artists on just making sure the like my outpost looked cool, but also would play well from a gameplay perspective.
Mhm.
I didn't do any coding. I'm not like the best coder, I would say. Like I know Python and Lua, that's about it. But
It's
I
okay,
didn't have
I
to
don't
do
know that
any,
shit
like,
either.
Yeah, no, I don't know any fucking. I took a Python class in college, but
Yeah, me too. That's how I know, and it kind of stuck. I don't know how. Um, but no, there wasn't any coding. The engine was super friendly with like the encounter tools because we work really closely with the engineering team to be like, hey,
Mhm.
we want to like make whole encounters and make it easy for design and any new designers or all designers to just create encounters with the tools inside the engine. Because I like if you look at older games, like some games have like 10,000 plus lines of code just to work, and that's
yeah,
not feasible anymore. I think because tools are different, and Unreal Engine 4 and 5 are just blowing everything out of the water
Yeah.
with their tools and the blueprint scripting. So didn't have to do any hard coding. There's a lot of layout work, a lot of like just setting up AI encounters and objectives and stuff.
nice.
So I
That's
realized I forgot to DM you because when I was playing that game and I was trying to find like certain little collectibles you could find. There was a couple.
Oh,
Uh,
there's a lot. I placed the majority of those.
there was a couple I like couldn't find for the fucking life of me, and I'm like, man, I wish I had someone I could call.
Kolbe. They're
It's like,
too hidden, too well hidden.
like this motherfucker did too good of a job.
Maybe I should play Halo Infinite.
It's fun.
I have
It's a really fun game.
I almost worked on that game. I think I told you, Kobe, like I almost took a
Mhm.
contract after Eco 3, but it didn't work out. But we almost could have been coworkers. Actually, no, you already left at that point. I was looking at like March 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think something that's really interesting that you talked about, like the relationship between level design and environment art, is like very symbiotic, and I'm glad to hear that like it was really tight knit with you and your environment artist too, because like I have my two level designers, shout out Ross and Joel on God of War. Like we have a group chat and we talk like every single day. Even right now, we're fixing shit. And we're like, yeah, every single day we're talking, and like it's very much like being in the trenches together and like doing the work, and like it forms relationships like that, and it's really cool. Like you get a feel for their style, and then you're like, how can I adapt to that? And then they see like how you do stuff, and it inspires them, and it's a fun relationship to have. And that's my favorite part about making games, honestly, is like being able to bounce off of people, and especially people in different disciplines, because like you can help each other do stuff that you didn't think would be like possible.
Yeah,
And I
like-
really enjoy that.
Yeah, I enjoy that dynamic we have. like I said before, Halo was we were super like a good cohesive team. Yeah, we're separate teams, but like this was before COVID hit, and I'll just walk over and be like, "Hey, on my outpost, I was set to like a certain like size of the outpost, and what I wanted to create. And after like objectives and more themes came in, I'm like, I need more room, and I had to like work with the environment artist, be like, okay, I know this is my space that's right here, but I gotta go bigger, gotta cut into the stuff that you're doing around it. And they're like, let's fucking make it work. It's a nice, like you say, yeah, it's a is symbiotic relationship the best way? What's the other one? That's like one hurts the other. I don't know what that one is. I haven't been in biology class in a long time.
I don't want to
I
say
fucking failed
probiotic,
biology in high school.
but I don't.
Probiotic, that's different, man. That's like the
Man,
vitamin
is that
supplement.
Pepto-Bismol? I don't fucking know.
No, that's not Pepto-Bismol.
What the
Pepto-Bismol is so
fuck?
you don't fucking have a tummy ache, bro.
Bro, I move fucking verts for a living. What makes you think I know shit?
I failed high school biology. I still know what Pepto-Bismol is. Probiotic is a supplement to make sure you poop good or something.
Okay, then what's the other relationship, Mr. Smart Guy? Mr.
Well, there's
Know-it-all?
symbiotic, and then no, that's it.
What, antibiotic?
I don't know.
Motherfucker? like, what is it? You're giving me shit?
No,
but what
it's not antibiotic
what is-
either. Claire, I know you're hearing Adrian yell. Claire is Adrian's wife. Claire, help us. I know
No,
you're smart.
she left once we started this argument. Like, she was playing Cult of the Lamb. She started hearing this. She's like, I'm out. Fuck this.
Oh, for God's sake. Antibiotic. Like A&A,
So,
I think.
I was right. It is an antibiotic.
No!
Oh.
Oh shit.
No, it's not. That's not it either. I'm done. I'm not
Antibiotics
talking
when you
about
take
biology.
when you're sick.
Yes, that's correct. When you have a
It's
bacterial infection.
it's a great relationship level designers and environment artists have.
That should be the takeaway from this conversation. Yeah, not the fact that none of us know basic biology.
Hey, I took biology like was a 1610 in community college, and I don't know how I passed. I probably had some answers written on a notepad somewhere and got the answers right on a test, maybe. Who knows? But
The
you don't need
bane of my
biology
existence.
when you're making games.
Yeah.
Exact. Maybe if you're a character artist for like anatomy and stuff, but
That's true.
I don't know.
No, that ain't
like.
that ain't a rock or a crate. I'm good.
Yeah, that ain't no
Oh,
rock.
Fuck that.
You know, I guess like I don't know. In France, when I was a kid, we did like before they separated like biology and chemistry and physics. There was just one thing. It was like science of life and Earth, and so they would kind of like that's what it was called, like SVT. Shout out French people. And then they would kind of talk about all of it together, like very broadly. So I guess that was kind of related, but I
A
don't know.
lot to put into one class. No thanks.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll stick with
But
my-
like you broach it
American
like this
education.
is when the dinosaurs lived. This is a rock, like type of shit. You know, it's like oh, this is the Earth's core, like super basic stuff that I all forgot because I'm fucking stupid. God, speaking of stupid knowledge, this is not game dev related at all. But I started going to pub quiz with my friends like every week, and just puts into perspective like how specialized the shit we do are and how stupid I am on like a general like population level, but how I'm actually very smart in very specific narrow instances.
I'll take
I
your
think
word.
a lot about
I'll take your word for it.
Pop. You said pop quiz? Is that what you said, or
the
what
pub
is it?
quiz. So you go to like a pub or like a bar or something, and then have you ever done that?
No, that sounds very fun.
It's so the basis of a pub quiz is like you get a team. Like in our pub, it's like generally 6 people is the max, and so you come into the pub on a specific day, and it starts at like 7 p.m. or something, and everyone's drinking, and there's a bunch of different teams that are here for it, and then a dude gets on the mic. He's like, all right, like pub quiz is starting, and then you answer a bunch of different trivia questions basically, and then if you win,
yes, I've done this.
it's so fun, and it's an excuse to go out and drink with your friends on a weekday, and it gets people in the bar, which is what they want, and then if you win, you get like a gift card or like a pitcher of beer or something, so it's a good time.
I'll take free beer.
Yeah, exactly. I found something really interesting that I didn't know you did. I have your ArtStation up on my other monitor. I didn't know you made a
Stalker.
gunfight map.
I did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
made a gunfight map. No, the story of that is pretty cool. Looking back at that, I think it's way too like the samey. There's some stuff I can change. I got feedback and I was like, I don't want to change it. But I was making it, blocking it out, and I posted it on Twitter at like the worst time you could do to like getting engagement. I think it was like 11:30 or midnight, but midnight PST. So it's 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst time to post it, but I woke up with my phone blown up by Twitter because one of the design directors at Infinity Ward retweeted it, and he's like, "This is awesome." He gave me feedback and stuff, but like it blew up all through Call of Duty Twitter. It was pretty cool. I had to find the tweet and like I sent to you after, be like just to show you what the engagement was. But that's kind of like where I got like a lot of. That's like where I started gaining Twitter followers. Because like, oh my god, he made this cool map and he works on Halo, and it just started to go up from there. But yeah, the story of that just blew up at overnight, and I was like, what's going on?
So I remember this. The only reason it's freaking me out right now is because I remember seeing your map in our Slack.
Oh yeah,
Because I was at IW at the
awesome.
time, and the dude posted.
That's awesome.
Because we were like finalizing stuff for Warzone, and we're just like cranking out new gunfight maps. And he posted this. He's like, "Yo, someone already made a fucking gunfight map in Unreal," and we're like, "Oh shit, that's crazy!" And then we all just started talking about it, and it was really cool. And as I'm just going through the thing, I'm like, "Wait a fucking minute, it's you?
It's me.
It was you."
That's awesome. I like to hear that type of stuff
Yeah.
because that's way cool that like you like shared it through Slack and all that. That makes me happy.
Yeah, and like I think it goes to show like, and plus I'm just looking at it. You had a really good fundamental understanding of like what it is, even though you said it's like, oh, feels so samey, and like you can obviously do variations like with height and all that shit, but like you got it. You got the exact layout of what is it, and that's so cool just to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes my heart happy because I really enjoyed the gunfight mode in Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the multiplayer maps were a little too big, especially for like 6v6. So
Yeah.
and I love Call of Duty. Like Black Ops 2 is my bread and butter.
Yes.
I'm a Call of Duty. I was a Call of Duty whore in high school and college. That's all I played, but that's kind of what got me into level design is Call of Duty and Treyarch's 3-lane approach, how they do their multiplayer maps. But I was like, all right, I really like these gunfight maps. I want to make one. Just try it out. And I think one of the gunfight not a creator, or I forgot his name, but he asked me, he's like, hey, can I use this as a template to start a new gunfight map? I'm like, fucking go for it. Just hire me. Actually, just hire me and I'll come help. But yeah, he asked to use it as a template, and I was like, hell yeah, dude, do your thing.
That's so awesome.
It's pretty sick.
Man, like people shit on Call of Duty a lot, but that's like a baseline for even my stuff. Like one of the first things I made was a shipment map.
Like we all had to make a shipment map in our
exactly. Everyone has a really simple iconic map. It's like, this is what I'm gonna do. Matt, I'm gonna push you off screen like this.
Nah, man, I wasn't a Call of Duty head. I mean, it's either the two genders of environment art when you do realistic work is Call of Duty or God of War. I ended up on the other end of the spectrum.
Hey, God of War is fucking awesome. I'm really excited.
And non-binary Zelda.
Non-binary Zelda, is that what you said?
I mean that's that, because Zelda covers everything else.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't make the rules.
I don't make the rules.
You don't make the damn rules. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm completely tuned out whenever Adrian talks about Call of Duty because, like, I talked about this in the podcast before. Like, I don't really play Call of Duty at all.
I love COD. I'm so excited. For the
surprisingly, I'm addicted to Valorant now, but like, that's a very new development. Actually, designing a Valorant map sounds really fun too.
We're actually doing a design den challenge of Valorant stuff right now.
Really?
Like,
hell yeah.
We had a lot of like applicants because I'm like a mod on the design den
sure
Discord. Shout out
Discord. Shout out the den.
Shout out to the den. But there's a lot of people that like are making Valorant maps right now. A lot
Very
of
cool
designers.
Have you ever done Blocktober? Do you know what that Twitter hashtag is?
Yeah, it was Michael Barclay, I believe, that like started it a couple years ago.
That's a dude. He was on Uncharted, I think.
He's at-
He was at
he-
Naughty Dog.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
still
he's big Naughty Dog.
he's
guy.
still
He's
at Naughty
awesome.
Dog.
But no,
I love that
I tried to
shit.
do that. It's hard to do it like a new block out daily because I work and make blockouts and
Mhm.
make games all day, and then now especially I have a son. Like, do I want to spend more time when I could be playing video games tonight? Or do I want to block something out real quick to do it? I might try it this year. Well, it's next month, so I don't know if I can do one every single day, but I try to.
I think the interesting part for me was seeing like, because that was before I was in the industry, when it started around like 2018, 2019, I think. And I remember specifically they were sharing like blockouts for levels of Uncharted 4 and then showing like how it ended up. And it was really fucking interesting to me. Because like it's rare for studios to show really early like gray box stuff before artists come in, because having art is more marketable, right? And showing a gray box, like, generally it's not sexy to like gamers because they're like, I don't understand what that is.
Yeah.
But I find it fascinating because I
Sexy
have
to
to work
me,
from
though.
gray box.
Yeah.
Love a good blockout. Ooh.
Yeah,
No
it's so
one
good.
like gamers don't give a shit about it. Other game devs, as soon as they see a blockout, everyone's like, "Hey, hey, what's
Yeah,
up with
exactly.
that? That's potential. What's up?"
I'm like, is that a 45-degree slope? Are you crazy? You know?
It's like
Is
potential.
that built on the grid?
Yo, is that modular? Holy shit.
What I would love to do, I wanted to do this. You brought up Blocktober. I wanted to go, just keep an eye on Blocktober and ask a level designer if I like, hey, can I art out your level? Because that shit's so fun. Call me. I might hit you up later and do that next month if you decide to do it. But
I actually have a lot of blockouts like for level design tests and whatnot that I've done that are really good. That could be easily thrown together with art. Like I want to do it myself, but I'm like, I'm no artist. I don't want to spend time doing this.
Hey, I'll do it. That'll be so much fun. That's
I got a lot of Unreal projects.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's getting dark, so I'm gonna open my blinds a bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
I've noticed I'm slowly getting.
Adrian's fighting.
Yeah, let's just all take 5 minutes to change the lighting real quick.
It's
I
okay.
was just getting too dark. I had to do it.
No, I had to do it too because the sun was like moving. I'm like,
sun's-
fuck. Okay.
The sun's above now. It's not over there.
Man. One of my favorite things about like just level design as a whole is just seeing the layout. Can we stick on Valorant for a little bit? Because design data and like I think we have an understanding of it.
I will not complain if we talk about Valorant.
Like just
all good.
from a level design standpoint, and then I guess you can do Counter-Strike too. So with Valorant, you have all the agents and all the different abilities. For putting us, like setting up a bomb site, I have no idea the process of like trying to acknowledge and how to factor in every character's abilities into how you would attack and defend a point. Like, I was just trying to think about it the other day because I wanted to do like maybe just a Valorant scene just to try more stylized work.
Mhm.
But then I just started thinking about it and I got overwhelmed. I was like, I'm good. It's like, I'm going to just make a fucking Counter-Strike map where you only have 4 grenades to factor in.
Yeah, I'm sure when the challenge is over and there's all these level designers with some gray blockouts, that they would love to have an artist art that up because it benefits them and you.
Yeah.
You just come together and you're like, hey, let's put it on our portfolios. It's pretty good. So I'm sure you'll have like some decent amount to pick from.
The power of
from
symbiotics, I guess.
Yes, the symbiotic.
The hell up, man. I'm never saying a smart word ever again. I get clowned for that shit.
We are a 3 to 4 syllable podcast at most. If we go past 5, we're fucked. Because then we'll get a.
Then our brain starts short circuiting.
Exactly. So all of like Matt and I have distinct styles of things we like to do. Do you and like other level designers you talk to have preferred things you like to work on? Like you like Call of Duty maps. Would you want to do Call of Duty and multiplayer maps? Do you prefer the open world of like Halo or like a what's another open world game? Like Breath of the Wild, I guess,
Mhm.
or like a Skyrim, or like working on encounters like that. Do you have a preference of things along that line?
I'd say I do. I think like my bread and butter is first person shooters.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I grew up playing that, and ironically, like I originally applied to work on Halo Infinite's multiplayer as a level designer, and then the campaign lead was like, "Hey, let's chat." I'm like, "I'll do campaign. It's Halo, hell yeah!" But I think, yeah, I think first person shooting level design is like my I prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
But after like working on a little bit of open world with Halo, I'd say like that would be like the next thing because there's so many factors that go into it because like a lot of stuff you can approach from any angle. Can so it's kind of hard to like direct a player where you want, like with like in classic Halo, which is a corridor shooter,
Mm-hmm.
super linear. So I think yeah, first person shooters, and then the more open world approach is definitely like what I prefer designing.
Okay.
I'm not like not saying like, oh, I won't try anything else. Like I would love to work on honestly anything, but like I think I excel at first person shooter level design, just because that's like what I grew up doing
Yeah.
and what I love playing in high school. It's just engraved into my brain. It's like I know I know how first person shooters work, and it just comes naturally. Like I worked on some other things that aren't like first person
Mm-hmm.
shooters, and like when I first started, I kind of saw myself struggling a bit. I'm like, okay, this is a little
Mhm.
different than what I'm used to because different field of views and perspectives for the player and what they can see. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but first person shooter is my jam.
Hell yeah. Do
I hear that.
What do you prefer?
Working on or playing?
Like working on?
So right now I'm at Forza and going from COD to Last of Us to Forza, which is a cool fucking thing to say. I'm gonna piss and shit myself till I die.
That's a great portfolio.
It is
right
a
there.
good portfolio. But as of lately, like I love working with my team at Forza and all that stuff, but I have to pull back a lot because a lot of the focus is on the driver. Like you're driving, you're focusing on this. Like I can make cool stuff on the side, but 90% of the people aren't going to give a shit about it. So like that. I don't know if it's an ego thing or just something. It's like I don't get that. I don't get the ability to make that oh shit moment that I really enjoy in a lot of video games. Because even if it's like something as I'm gonna use like Warzone. Like even though Warzone is big and not it's not like super linear in that way, you still have spots on the map that you can tell what it is just off silhouette. You
Yeah.
can do a lot of cool things just in art as a whole in COD and Last of Us. When you walk out the door and then you see the cities like all toppled and some of it rippled apart. I don't really get to do that, and I'm more than likely gonna finish out this project. Future me will figure out if this statement ages well. But it's like after that, maybe I'll go do something else. I've been really loving Destiny's oh shit moments because they have really iconic like buildings and set pieces that just really pop. And that's probably one of the best things about Bungie. It's like aside from level design, their Vista work and especially their skyboxes, they still have like a really appealing process and lots of things that allow you to digest what you like while still being focused on what you need to do.
Yeah.
Which I don't think a lot of studios do it too well, but or like
They
at
either,
least
like,
up to
favor one
that.
or the-
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, I've gotten more into Destiny lately. I'm trying to get you to play with me, but you just ignore my Steam
I'm
messages.
sorry, you can't
Aside,
do what I'm
aside from that, no, but yeah, I've noticed that. Like,
Okay, he ignores
this is-
everyone.
This, I'm glad it's not just me. But yeah, I've definitely noticed that with what they've done with Destiny, even like the first Destiny.
Mhm.
Bungie's just it's a master.
Yeah.
But there's some master at the craft. Them and Insomniac are just like my
Oh
two
my
students are
God.
they are masters of what they do, no matter like what project they're on. They just know.
I have heard stuff about I want to work on an Insomniac game specifically because I've heard that their tools for artists are literally top notch in the industry.
That's nice.
Like just like so nice to use, makes everything so easy, and they have really interesting techniques with like texturing and stuff, like the ultimate trim stuff for anyone who's in the know. That's really really cool. They had a GDC talk about it in like 2016 for Sunset Overdrive.
I love
and just
Sunset.
being able to just like swap a material and have everything looking sculpted and like finished, it's really good. To get on your question, I've had a range of like type of games I've worked on too. Like I've worked on MLB, so I did like a baseball sim, and then obviously God of War, and I very much consider those to be like the two ends of the spectrum when it comes to like environment art and like what you're focusing on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think I'm spoiled now. I think I'm never gonna wanna, like, I'll never truly be happy if I don't get the amount of detail and freedom that I have working on God of War. Of like, I can, like, most of the time my lead would be like, yeah, go apeshit. Or like, yeah, just do this, we'll talk when you're ready to like figure this out. And then my experience in MLB was very different because like you have many more like restrictions on like polygons, shader counts, all that type of stuff, and everything serves a very different purpose, right? Like it's similar to Adrian when you're talking about Forza. I was thinking about this. It's like with Forza, like the focus is like on the car, on the driving, and on the player. It's the same thing in MLB, but like most of the budget goes to the players and the shader budget, the lighting budget, etc. Right? And then the stadiums are in the background. And because it's in the background, like you don't get to go crazy and do like really cool like multi-tile texture like setups. Generally you have to keep to one shader a building and like one shader a prop, and like I felt a little not creatively shackled, but I felt a little like I kind of like hit the limits of like what I could do with that. And so moving onto a project that had more focus on environment art, I think was really good, because it allowed me to like learn a lot more and like grow a lot more of that aspect. It was really cool. But my dream type of game to work on is a platformer.
So like
I would love to work in a platformer.
That was the first game I ever made, platformer in Unity. I want to remake it in Unreal, but I did like I did the animation work for that game, the level design. I did a lot for that game. And it was only 4 of us, and one kid didn't do anything on. Like our whole team were told our professor like he didn't do shit, and I'm pretty sure he failed because he didn't do anything. He deserves it. I pulled all this work. Yeah, you're not getting an A because I made a cool game.
You did animation on it, like fuck that guy.
I did. I had a similar thing in college. Like I took a real-time class, and for the final project we had to make a game, and we were in teams of like 3 or 4, and we made a horror game. Something in the Shadows on itch.io. Shameless plug. It's free. Anyone can download it. And I ended up. We had 2 people. We had one person that did a bunch of props and then like dipped. So like we never saw them again. And then my friend Zach was. He did the layout of the level, and then was helping me with some prop stuff. But I did a lot of the texturing. I did all the scripting for the game. I didn't know how to script anything. I did all the level scripting, like the behavior, the events, everything. I did the lighting, I did the audio, I did just like all the coding really with like visual scripting in Unreal. And I knew I didn't want to do any of that shit again. Let me put it that way. That was fucking something. But Markiplier played it. So I guess it was.
You were on a Markiplier video?
Yeah. See, you know he does like 3 horror games. He does that like weekly series, and he downloads whatever's free on itch.io and he plays it. Because I released it around Christmas time and it was free and it was a horror game, it wasn't #1 on itch.io for like a month straight, and like everyone was playing it. And so Markiplier picked it up because it was in there, and it was kind of a cool moment. It was like the first moment in the industry where I was like, oh, like shit, like I did something that people played. That was cool.
Yeah, Markiplier video, that's nuts. I know with my really good friends I worked on Halo with, they did do you copy that horror game, that indie horror game they made, and like that game has like a big following, and they did a really good job, and Markiplier played it, and they have like really good reviews and like so many downloads and plays, and
Nice.
I love that.
it's cool to see it. They're like, yeah, our game was on Markiplier Play. You're like, what the fuck? That's sick.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I made a horror game. I don't know if Markiplier.
Markiplier has played everything.
Markiplier's
That's
the
the thing,
standard of if your horror game made it.
Yeah, but it's still up there.
I need to make a horror game
I'm gonna
now.
search through his videos now to see. If
Yeah, what you have. Yeah, there you go. There's the link to the page. I'll put it in the chat in here. Oh, that takes me back.
I think I'm legally obligated now to make a horror game just so Markiplier can play it. I go,
You're feeling left out.
man, I'm gonna make Five Nights at Freddy's 7 or 10. I think it's 10 now.
They're on like
They had a VR
a
game.
sub-series now.
They had an RPG. They had a Five Nights
Yeah.
at Freddy's RPG, and I love
Five
it.
Nights at Freddy's is something I never understood. Like,
It's
I
good.
was very much not the target audience for that game. And then they just like made more and more and more and like had a cinematic universe or some shit. And I was like, I don't understand this. I don't get it.
I can link you an hour and a half long video explaining the lore.
My God. No thanks. I'm good.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway. You can't stop me legally. All right. Fuck. I'm gonna stop this Five Nights at Freddy's talk because I'm not.
Never
gonna...
played it.
Damn, I'm the only one.
Never played it.
Fuck. So, since FESs are something you want, is there a series in particular you would like to work on? Because
Star Wars, easy.
I was gonna say, I was like, yo, Respawn is always doing
Star
these
Wars. But I like what I'm doing with Crystal Dynamics. I
Yeah.
can see myself here for a while. What I'm doing, I really enjoy, and I love my team, love the studio. But like,
Star
I think
Wars
like in
is
my
cool.
career, it definitely is gonna be like I have to work on Star Wars. Like I'm obsessed. Like I got Ahsoka.
Dude.
She's the best.
When you
Good
got
thing they're
that
greenlighting like
Oak
12
and-
fucking Star Wars games.
I
Yeah,
know.
there's a lot
definitely
of
a chance.
Yeah, LucasArts has been like, all right, it's like Oprah. You get a Star Wars game. So I know I'm pretty sure in my career I will be on a Star Wars project.
I don't see
It'd be
why
cool
you
to be, like
wouldn't.
in a studio that's only Star Wars, and that just.
I don't
I
see
don't
why
think
you
it would
wouldn't,
ruin
dude.
my
You're so
love for
good.
it.
You're so good
I'm
at what you
okay.
do. Nah, take the compliment.
Take the compliment. A lot of people like my stuff on Halo Infinite. Like they're like, you did this outpost. This is my favorite outpost in the game. Like it's the outpost. A lot of people DM'd me. And they're like, yeah, the outpost is my favorite part of the open world. And it's like,
That's nice.
for your first game to have that, you're like, that's a good confidence
Mhm.
boost. That
Yeah, that's gotta be nice to hear, man.
that's very nice to hear.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Star Wars. Yeah, anything Star Wars, I will jump for
I would
it.
fuck
Like,
with a Star Wars game too.
How do you
But like not the sci-fi parts. I would like to do like the organic shit.
Oh, I love the sci-fi bits. Like,
you don't want to do space bullshit, or spaceships and interiors. No, you want like.
I want to do like weird
space
alien
shit.
planets.
Yeah.
You know.
That
I want
shit's
to do like the weird. The Guardians of the Galaxy was great for that. I don't know if you played that.
A game is very underrated and very good.
agreed.
It's very good. I played it because it was on PS Plus last month, so I played through it. It's very pretty. Like the just all the planets look like super unique and different, and like it was very cool to see.
They did a
That's
great
what I
job.
would want to do. Maybe.
Yeah,
That'd
that
be
type
pretty
of like art is really appealing because it's just, I would say it's wacky, but there's a lot of stuff you can do with that, and they did a great job with selling. Like, hey, this is the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're going all these different planets, and they look different, and they all have their own little niche, and
Yeah, man.
this is awesome.
I've never seen so many Houdini tentacle sims until I started playing Guardians of the Galaxy. Cause like,
Oh, with Groot.
yeah, with like
Yeah.
Groot, and then like a bunch of it was like one of the the Beast Master planet.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that's her name, but I just call her Beastmaster.
Lady Hellbender.
Hellbender. Yeah, thank you.
Beastmaster.
Close enough. That was a show, I think.
Not at all.
Anyway, but like the tree roots and then all the
Yeah.
like the random things on the floor, like that is so cool to me to see. I love weird shapes in games, so it's like wow, they actually let them be weird, which you should. Hopefully that game gets a sequel. I think it would.
Depends what IDOS is doing next, because they're not Squeenix anymore.
Yeah, they're over here with Embracer.
Oh shit,
with
that's
Crystal.
right.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, Square Enix really screwed the pooch on that one. Just saying.
They're making Kingdom Hearts. They'll be fun.
They can't work with an American studio to save their life. They've tried.
Hey,
It's okay.
after Kingdom Hearts 3, Kingdom Hearts 4 better just blow my mind. Like story.
They're bringing back reaction commands for Kingdom Hearts 4, so I'm already sold. You know in Kingdom Hearts 2 when you would press triangle and it would do a bunch of shit? They're bringing that back, so that's all I care about.
As long as the story is good. I didn't like Kingdom. Like I love Kingdom Hearts 2 is like in my top 5 games, and I love Kingdom Hearts so much, and we waited so long for Kingdom Hearts 3, and the story was just not it for me. Like it was super, and like all the bosses were just they were all heartless bosses, no cool bosses. It's giant heartless toys and Toy Story. There's no cool bosses. It's like, come on.
Gameplay was good though. I really like the gameplay.
I love the gameplay.
But the story,
combat, gameplay, good.
Goofy needs to die in the new one.
Oh,
like in the same way with the Rock.
Whoa.
But
well, they fucking killed Donald.
Yeah.
In 3.
No, but bring him back and throw a rock at him.
Okay, can we talk about how Donald canonically, like,
is stronger than Sephiroth?
That is like the only other character that has done it and lived was like literally Bahamut, which is like a world-destroying dragon. And then Donald just fucking whips out Zetaflare like it's fucking nothing. What?
That duck goes hard, man.
That and then of course he fucking died.
It's all
after
the
he did it.
ingredients. That's how strong he is. Like
I was so disappointed.
My favorite, I love Kingdom Hearts. Like 1 and 2 I played a lot. I didn't follow any of the side games until like I think it was like Birth by Sleep when you're Riku on the 3DS. Until right before
Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance, thank you.
Oh yeah, where you have little pet toys and you bounce around. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I only played those 3 and then Kingdom Hearts 3. And I felt so lost.
Oh my god.
The entire time.
There's YouTube videos out there, hour long, explaining.
I felt like I should, and then like after Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm like, man, the story's so stupid. I'm not even gonna pay attention. And then 4 came back, and he looks realistic. It looks cool as shit. Yeah, the triangle thing's back. I'm like,
well, I think doesn't he look realistic because of the if you do the DLC of the Remind DLC of Kingdom Hearts 3, the very end he's like in this super realistic Final Fantasy world. So that's why he looks like that, because I don't think that's gonna be the art style. Because at first I was like,
it's been confirmed it's just the art style of the world he's in.
Yeah, because that makes sense.
I don't like this, but then I realized, oh, the story, and it makes sense now.
And that's another thing. Like when that reveal happened, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is this? Why does he look like it?" And it's like, okay, I don't feel bad because I'm not the only one that doesn't know what the fuck Kingdom Hearts story is sometimes. And then a friend of ours, he's also like super into Kingdom Hearts. He explained the DLC bit to me. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. It's Kingdom Hearts. Like you could just say anything about it. I'm like, I 100% believe you. Kingdom Hearts probably did that.
Yeah, I've been playing the game since I was a kid, and like I've played all of them at least twice. Except Kingdom Hearts 3, I played it once, and I was like, that was bullshit, and then didn't play it again.
I played through it twice or halfway through, and I was like, this ain't it. And then it came out in Epic Games, and I've like PC controls, and I played through it all and finally finished it.
I didn't even play the Remind DLC. That's how annoyed I was with Kingdom Hearts 3. I was just like, I heard actually it makes the ending a lot better. That's what our friend told me.
That would be my feedback. Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot better.
I've been meaning to play it again, like just to be like, okay, like let's give it an actual shot. But I don't know if I actually want to do that because that, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 is in my top 5 favorite games of all time, same. And especially the final mix version, like it's like a perfect game to me. And I don't know if I want to sour that more. I'll just wait for Kingdom Hearts 4. What's wrong, Adrian?
I'm having this realization that within the next, when does 4 come out? Do we have a date on 4?
2026, I bet. That's my bet.
I think they said 2024, but I'm not sure.
Well, within, what is it, September? Within the year or next year, we have to do a full Kingdom Hearts episode. Just get everyone that knows a lot of shit and cares about Kingdom Hearts.
Get a round table going.
Yeah, literally have a
back.
Yeah, I'll bring Kolbe
I'd
back.
love to.
We'll get OVA here. We'll literally just talk Kingdom Hearts for a full fucking hour. I want to do that. And then and
the highs
You do, but
and
you
lows.
don't.
exactly. I know, like, I have a bunch of ideas to throw in, like, to the episode while it's going on.
Mhm.
But man, that'd be such a fun episode to do. I feel like
I would have fun. I don't know if you would have fun. but
I'd
I would have a
enjoy
great
it just
time.
because you can just say shit. It's like, oh yeah, Riku ate this fruit and then he became a demigod for like part 5, and then he grew a 4th arm, and then fucking Luffy from One Piece comes out and punches Sora to release his heart, and then Sephiroth is there. He's Fortnite default dancing in the corner, but it's to secretly save King Mickey, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm like,
That could work. Like, if anyone didn't know the story and you say that shit, it could honestly happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I love Kingdom Hearts. Just me listening to all the things I don't know. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Just bringing Smash Bros at it. When they announced him, I lost my shit.
Like,
Yeah, I lost my
oh
shit.
my god, when that reveal happened,
Best reveal, like, yeah.
I
I'm
got
so glad it happened.
my phone blew up. They're like, it's real. It's fucking real. Ah!
What a last character to bring. That was great. People were like, "Ooh, Waluigi." I'm like, "No, hell no." So
It has to be Sora.
He's not even. Wait, what game did he get left out? What came out recently?
Ultimate?
Mario game.
Oh,
there was Mario Strikers, Mario Golf,
I think it was,
Super Mario Party.
I think it was
No,
Strikers.
No, I think it's it's Smash Bros. He's just an ongoing meme that he'll never be in it. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think
Smash.
that was that game. So okay. Yeah, Sora. Yeah, Sora was awesome. I just want Sora in Fortnite so I can default dance as Sora. That'd be great.
I give it like a month. I mean, isn't fucking Dragon Ball in Fortnite now?
You mean the
Oh,
bet?
I bought those.
I
real quick.
bought those so fast. All right,
I
let's.
dropped another $90 on Fortnite, which is a free. The amount of money I spent in Fortnite, I added it up, and I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed.
I was so proud of myself. I never bought a single thing at Fortnite. And then I saw Goku fucking doing a Kamehameha wave. I'm like, they almost got me with John
Against the
Cena,
gritty?
but it's like, it was an instant cop, man. I got to see Goku going, hitting the gritty, and then fucking Ariana Grande Kamehameha wave outside Roshi's house. I'm like, yes, I have to.
Yes.
This is so stupid. It's great.
That was like the best definition of how to do a collab between like franchises. And Fortnite's just killing it at that. I love that.
They're so smart with it.
I've had a lot of discussions about if Fortnite is killing culture or if it's actually a good thing. And I don't think I have an opinion at the end of the day because it's none of my business. But like, there's something to be said about Ariana Grande doing a Kamehameha outside Roshi's house, and then like Jeff Rosenstock is playing in the background. Like there's just this mishmash of like everything in culture like trying to be represented at the same time. Like, you know, they bought Bandcamp, and then turns out that a lot of the fucking music, like Car Seat Headrest, is in the radio when you get in like a tank. There's just weird shit is happening in Fortnite. It's just a weird melting pot.
But it works though, and people play it, and it's still.
Oh, it works.
Still going.
I mean,
I think the
came
best
back
thing
to
they
it.
ever did was the no building mode.
That's what
Everyone
brought me
came back
Yeah,
when they did
exactly.
I won't put. I can't keep up with my boomer. I'm almost 30. I'm gonna hit that 30 soon. I can't build anymore like I did in college.
that. You don't got the reflexes.
I don't. I bought like big mouse pads, and I like shifted my whole setup so I could do like 90s and crank that shit out. I can't do that anymore. No build has brought like game nights with my friends who we'd all play Fortnite with, and we all fell off because we can't keep up. It brought us all back to playing Fortnite. Like almost when it came back, we were playing every night.
That's awesome.
Like, it was nice to have everybody playing a game that we enjoy again. Because we play like a lot of Smite, and sometimes it's like, okay, I don't want to play anymore, or there wasn't any games that kept us together, and Fortnite just brought us back in, and it was awesome.
That's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
I don't think Fortnite is inherently doing anything bad with gold. I think my favorite thing about it is the fact that it lets us realize that all these properties are just properties. Like, just have fun with video games and stuff again. But I can understand why people would get upset. However, the fact that car seat headrest plays in a tank, I like to think like someone has no idea what car seat headrest is, and then they get really depressed and then just drive off a cliff and fucking Ford. Like,
No, it's just weird, man.
It's-
I want to get a list like of all the music that's on Fortnite and look at all their niche shit they got in there now.
I found like I was playing with my friend, and he's like he likes EDM and like rave music, and they had like a super ravey type song in the car, and I'm like, bro, this song fucking slaps. And we were getting out and we got back in, and I'm like, I gotta figure out what the song is. So I used like the Siri. I'm like, hey Siri, what song is this? And I found out the song, and I listened to it. It's in my gym playlist because it's sick. And thank you for that.
That's awesome.
you gotta share that song. I'm curious now.
I'll share it.
Please do. All right, we're almost coming up on an hour, but there is a question I do want to ask you, because you mentioned you have a son, and we're gonna like switch tones really quickly.
Okay.
Like, you have a son, and being there is really important, and especially with how heavy Halo was. Like, you going for full-time positions and doing all that, like, that's your baseline. Especially with how very contract heavy this industry is. Did that, like, how many studios did you cut out as much as possible so you can get to a very comfortable point of like CD and all that?
There's a couple, because I know 343 wanted to extend my contract more, and I didn't want to be stuck in that loop. Gunfire with
It's
the contract. The contract, if it depends what the studio, but a lot of the contract loops can get pretty rough.
Especially in Washington State, there's like specific laws at Microsoft and stuff.
Yeah,
It's really stupid.
They got in trouble big time a couple of years ago. But no, yeah, there was a lot of studios that I interviewed for, and they're like, okay, well, we can do a contract. I'm like, I don't want to do contract. I know one of them was Sony Santa Monica to work on God of War, and I was like, hell yeah, I'll work on God of War. And then I was like, I want to do a contract, even if there's like the little, hey, we can have full time eventually. But Gunfire gave me a contract. Even my lead at Halo was like, you fucking worked on Halo, dude. Why are they giving you a contract? It's just it's super funny with that whole process. But they actually offered me full time, and they offered me full time the same time Archetype did, because I was interviewing because my contract was ending. So of course I got an interview, and level design tests take a long time sometimes, and interviews that take like 4 to 6 weeks sometimes. So they offered me full time at the same time, and I went with Archetype, and I was comfortable staying there. I was like, well, what we're doing. But like in between, like as I know, my contract was ending with 343. Interviewed with so many studios: Respawn, Sony Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, multiple. There's Sledgehammer. That was a contract. Treyarch was also a contract. I was like, I want to make Call of Duty, and all these Call of Duty studios were contract. I'm like, I don't want to do that. And ironically, I ended up contract at Gunfire because I thought Texas was it, and it's not.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of studios that I interviewed with that offered contracts, and I said no because I don't want that. But yeah, I'm very happy.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Where I'm at now as a full-time at Crystal, because the benefits are great, and I could be full remote with my son, and we're right next door to my in-laws, so we have help when we need it because babies are hard. We were in Texas for 4 months alone with a brand new baby. Holy hell!
Shit, man! Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
You're gonna have kids, just make sure you have some family, because it's hard on you, but it's hard on mom. Like,
yeah.
Postpartum, nothing to joke about. I feel so bad. But now we're happy and home, and yeah, there's a lot of, to answer your question, there's a lot of contracts at a really big studios that I want to be a part of that I turned down.
Yeah,
Just because that didn't fly. But where I'm at now, I'm happy where I ended up.
yeah, it's fantastic. I'm happy you are where you are, because I think you and I talked a little bit before, like in DMs and stuff, about like contracts and all that shit, and how fucking it sucks, because I'm still in contract, but luckily um I don't have I don't have a kid, and I still have the ability to kind of move around, but I couldn't imagine like when you're setting up a family, when you want to do all that, like it's fucking brutal, and you're like, I have to, like, I want to work on COD, but if I can't do the things that I need to do for my family, fuck it, I'll put that and then I'll do this. And that's partially why we started this, is because I think that's all. Like, there's so many factors in this industry, both for personal people and just business side, that gamers and a lot of people don't discuss. And it's that comes to the genuine side of our shitposting nature. It's like, yeah, we love joking around, but like, this is our lives. We have to be honest about it. We got to be aware of, like, lazy devs don't exist. We work our asses off. We're trying to make sure everything's right, but we got to live too.
Yeah, I think it's a hard decision you had to make, because like stability is something that you need when you're starting a family, and like this industry, unfortunately by design, a lot of the times is not stable at all.
Oh yeah.
Not only with employment, but with the nature of the job. You know, it's like, oh, like you need to get a game published, like you might need to drastically switch gears on what you're doing, and then it's like, do you sacrifice your happiness for stability? Do you work on something you don't necessarily want to work on just because it pays pretty good and it's stable? And then you're stable, but you're like kind of sad in something you do 8 hours a day. It's a really hard decision to have to make. And I think it's sad that so many places only do contracts, and then that really limits like your security and your stability. It's hard things to grapple with, and I'm glad you found somewhere that works for you now. I'm happy for you about that.
Yeah,
That's
as soon
really
as you
important.
announced you were working at CD, I was like, yes! Fuck yeah! I was fucking cheering in my chair, dude. I'm so happy.
I like what I'm doing is it's pretty cool. I think I asked my lead and I was like, "Can I say what I'm working on?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, wait." I don't know why, but I'll just wait. But it's some cool stuff. But no, I'm happy to have like a full-time position where it's very flexible. I work from home.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of, like you said, Matt. There's a lot of stuff I had to turn down because I wanted more stability, and especially like they're like, "Oh, well, you got to move to California once COVID blows over." It's still going on. People are still super remote, and I'm just like, do I want to join a studio where I would have to maybe move to California eventually? No.
Nah, hell no.
But
I'm moving out.
Yeah, I'm getting Adrian to move to Seattle. I convinced him.
You're gonna love it. Oh, I love Washington. That has my heart. Like I was only there for 2 years, but me and my wife changed as people. Like we got hiking, a lot of breweries with our dog, and that's good stuff. But real quick, going back to Adrian's, like he said, a lot of gamers and actually the general public doesn't really know how contract heavy our industry is. And when I announced I was leaving 343, like I blew up on Twitter, like because it was in a little drought, which like it was just after the delay of Halo, and there wasn't a lot of stuff being said because we were heads down making the game. So there's like any news article would grab at anything negative surrounded Halo because it was delayed recently. And I announced I was leaving, blew up. I had GameSpot, IGN articles, Windows Central, all these articles saying
Shit.
Halo level designer leaves 343 Industries for so and so, and it's like my contract ended, and I like called out GameSpot on Twitter. I'm like, guys, my contract ended. I found a new job. There's no story here. Like
this is not a story.
No,
this is how
it's
the industry's
literally
designed.
live.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And then I ratioed on my Twitter, and I'm like,
Hell yeah. That's so stupid, man. Like, What?
It was overwhelming. Like that's why I had like I think I have a decent amount of Twitter followers, like 5,200 now, but like went from like $2,000 to like up to $5,000 just from me saying I'm leaving and all these articles grabbing at me. And,
like I get a design director leaving being like a big deal, or
but
like
some contract level designer.
Yeah, you're a fucking
like, come on.
Yeah. It's just one level designer. They have like 15. Chill, like it's fine.
Yeah, it was super overwhelming, especially being my first thing. I'm like, fuck, did I do something wrong? Am I gonna be like blacklisted from the industry now?
It's not your fault.
Like, guys, my contract ended, got a new job. If your job ended, you get a new job too. That's how it is.
That's how it goes, man.
That was a fun time, blowing up. I think there was one time where if you Googled Halo Infinite level designer, it was just me. Like,
I wonder
you were the only one.
Oh, no, I'm gonna win.
There's still some of me, I think, but like during that time, it was just me.
Hey, you can say you were published in IGN and GameSpot though. That's good for the resume.
Get your get verified on Twitter.
I tried because I had all these articles and they denied it. I'm like, fuck, come on.
That's bullshit, man. What?
Yeah, you're one of the first ones that pop up. You're the first.
My friend Alan pops up now.
Yeah, it was Alan and then you.
Website.
It was you on Reddit.
It was my LinkedIn, my Artstation, and GameSpot. All the articles is me. But now, because I have a friend, he's the tight end for the Cowboys. Actually, we're really good. Like he's my best friend. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there. But he would always be like, hey, when we're like chatting, and he'd just be like, Google me. Do you know who I am? And I'm like, yeah, Google me now. You can fucking Google me and see me now. I got that on.
Awesome.
But yeah, a lot of shit popped up, and then, yeah, I still think you can see you can find those articles and it just says, hey, are things bad at 343 on the campaign after the delay? I think I made it to the Halo Reddit a couple times. Like there's a big one when I said, yeah, I left because I didn't want to keep my contract going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, man, Reddit for a game is something.
I'm kind of honestly, I'm glad I'm on Forza because I don't get any threats anymore from fucking COD and
Did you get threats for COD and Last of Us?
Oh, for COD a couple of times. They said like, I got this one DM. It was really cursed. They said like, if I don't get to behead someone with a M60 machine gun, this game fucking sucks. I'm like, bro, I'm QA. What the fuck?
You're QA. Yeah, what?
I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm chilling. I'm just
making sure there's no floating objects. There's a floating object, man. I don't make the gun shoot heads off.
Funny. Oh. I have, related to Reddit, I think I have a closing statement for this episode. I'm going to tell a little story. So, on the MLB The Show subreddit, so I worked on MLB The Show 21 for most of its cycle, and then I worked a few months on MLB 22. So the only release I saw was MLB 21, and then I moved over to working at Valkyrie in July. And so a thing they do on MLB The Show is that in the game, for the random character generator, they do, for like the NPCs, the random players that you can get in the campaign mode, they put the devs' names in the pool basically, and then sometimes they give them like just really good stats. And then one day, I don't remember how it came up, but someone sends me a link to a Reddit thread, and it goes, "Who the fuck is this? Like their stats are cracked," and it's my full name, like Mathieu Mouton, like Matthew Mouton, and everyone's like, who the fuck is this? Who is this player? Like their stats are literally cracked. Apparently my stats are really, really good. And then someone's like, oh, it seems like it's one of the artists at San Diego studio, whatever. And then the highest upvoted comment, I look at it and it just goes, Matthew mouth on these nuts. And I look at it and I go, yeah. That's fair. Like, I can't even be mad at that. That's so fucking funny. And I can't believe I had never thought of it until that point. But some random kid on the MLB The Show subreddit really ended my whole career and just said, Matthew mouth on these nuts.
I'm gonna literally find your credit in God of War Ragnarok and post that on the God of War subreddit. I'm gonna get a repeat. That's so funny.
When that game ships, I'm gonna Photoshop mouth on these nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was a humbling moment in my career.
I love that for you.
All right.
Is that why your Discord name is Matt's Mouth?
Yeah, it's more like it's the first 4 of my first name and the first 4 letters of my last name, and I just needed like a username that was more American sounding because people kept saying my old one weird and it annoyed me. Because I made that one when I was like in high school.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's a great thing to end on, right?
Yeah, I love it. All right.
Still these nuts joke to end the episode.
Classy. We always stay classy here.
We stay classy at the Broken Bill podcast.
Kolbe, thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for spending an hour of your Saturday with us. Please tell the lovely people where they can find you. And we'll have all your socials and stuff down below too.
On Twitter, yeah. I've had some people like friend me on Facebook. Don't do that. 'Cause I don't know, but just on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Chat with me. Send me a DM. Unless you ask for.
What's your AIM account? What's your AOL Instant Messenger account?
What's your GeoCities page?
My first email was footballplaya50@yahoo.com.
Was it
Let's go.
Was it Playa?
Playa. PLAIYA.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome. All right, thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
it was
you were
really
fantastic.
Nice to get to chat.
Well, I'm glad I finally do a podcast because I've been wanting to just do the game dev podcast, and this is a great one.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah, you've been amazing. We'll have to have you back on for the inevitable Kingdom Hearts recap.
The Kingdom Hearts special episode. All right.
We'll do it for Christmas. How about that?
For the Christmas episode?
The Christmas special.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
That's perfect.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You can find the Broken Bed podcast on Twitter in the description. You can follow Adrian on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow Kolbe on Twitter. We have Artstations, the 3 of us, if you want to look at that, if you want to look at the work we do. Feel free to comment,
ring the bell as well.
Ring the bell as well. I don't fucking know. Every time, I'm still not used to doing that. It's very weird. I never. Have you ever used a notification bell?
No.
Yeah, I use it for like 3 of my big YouTube groups I watch.
Okay.
Nice.
It just pops on my phone and I'm like, click.
I respect that, but I will never use it out of principle. But please use it on our podcast, everybody. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye, everyone.